I started getting messages and I started getting phone calls and texts were coming in that, hey, Payton's been hit. You know, she's hurt pretty bad. So when I'm not gonna be able to do this. My first thoughts was, is she okay? And then honestly, my second, I was mad. I was furious because we all knew this was going to happen. Did I think it would have happened to my child? No. But we all knew. Everybody talked about it. Everybody knew something was going to happen. Something was going to happen, and it did. And I was mad.
It's hard for me to watch.
Yeah. What do you remember from that?
It was just very, very traumatizing. A couple years ago, I was severely injured in a high school volleyball game by a male on the opposing team, leaving me with permanent injuries that the doctors don't know if I'll ever be able to recover from. On September 1st, 2022, I went into this game knowing that there was a man on the other team, but felt helpless and had no idea what to do. Neither I or my team or my administration agreed that we should be playing against a man, but at the time, again, this was 2 years ago, and we had no idea what to do. The game's almost over, and he goes up to spike the ball, and it comes right at me in the face, completely knocking me out, unconscious for about 30 seconds, while my body was in a fencing position on the floor, which is just how your body reacts to a brain injury. After I got hit, the whole gym went completely silent. There was one person that screamed, apparently, and then everyone just went silent, because it's not like everyone doesn't know. Like, we know that this is the guy. We're just gonna stop pretending that it's not. They kept him in. The girls were scared, but they finished the game. That was my last day playing volleyball ever.
I just didn't think that that would ever happen to Payton. I was scared that it would happen to me next.
I ended up going to the doctor a couple days later and finding out that I had a traumatic brain injury, a brain bleed, and partial paralysis. And it would take months, years to recover, and they don't know if I'll ever be 100% back.
Myself and Pamela did not make it to the game that night. It's the first game we'd ever missed. My first instinct was to make sure she was okay and able to get home. Next instinct was to be mad, because this was 100% preventable had the laws been in place like they should have been.
I drove to meet the bus. I met her and got her and brought her home. And she just got progressively worse as the days went on. She didn't know where she was at. She was afraid because she couldn't remember anything. And her head hurt so bad that anything that we tried to do for her didn't relieve the pressure on her head and her eyes. Her eyes were black underneath, and so we took her in, and they said she had a TBI and a neck injury. Her C3 is bent into her C4. She did not have her peripheral vision on her right side. It was just a lot. I mean, that day changed. That day changed everything for the whole family.
I had to wear sunglasses everywhere I went. The lights were all really harsh, and I couldn't really understand or comprehend my work as well at school, so I had to get extra help and accommodations to help with testing and tutoring and stuff, and that's never been the case for me. And of course the headaches, and I was having to have someone with me at all times. I couldn't drive for a few months. It was really bad at first, but thankfully I've grown a lot since then. I still have to get help now that I'm in college. I still need that extra help at school because it's hard to retain information as well as it had been before. My body is just in shock and it's still trying to recover.
The biggest change that we've noticed is her personality. It's like relearning a whole new person. The child, William, I cannot do this. The child that we raised for 17 years, the child that we knew, is gone. For someone that was so able, and she was so able, that kid could do anything, so to see her go from that to someone that struggles with the basic things, it's been an adjustment. When they released her to return to play, she started basketball. And is she the player that she always was? No. Did we all know that? Yeah. Was it heartbreaking to watch? Absolutely. It was the fear on her face of knowing you should know, but you can't remember, or you can't get your body to do something that you know that it can do. She's still very headstrong. She's the strongest kid I've ever known in my life.
Ever since I was little, I was always playing sports. As soon as we could walk, our dad was putting us in a sport, and I'm incredibly thankful for that because sports have brought so many things into my life. I was a 3-sport athlete from the beginning. I played basketball, volleyball, and softball. I had the potential opportunity to play softball at the collegiate level, which I was really stoked about. I was really excited to continue my career, but because of my career-ending injury, I was no longer able to perform the way I had in the past. So all of those offers and opportunities were taken away because of my injury. There's still things that I'm having to deal with today, and it's just completely aggravating because it was 100% avoidable if only my rights as a female athlete had been more important than a man's feelings. Nobody ever apologized. The male athlete that did injure me, he did reach out to me right after I spoke out for the first time, just to let me know that he was living rent-free in my head. He was basically accusing me of being obsessed with him and making it about him. And, you know, it's not. It is his fault, but it's not about him. It was just so unfair and so ridiculous that I just couldn't stay quiet.
To be her best advocate, we wanted her to not be put out in the spotlight unless she wanted to. She made the choice to step out and to, bring her story ahead to help make changes that need to be changed.
Right after my birthday, I went to the North Carolina General Assembly and spoke out for the first time about what was going on because they were trying to pass the Fairness in Women's Sports Bill in North Carolina. I didn't realize how big that was, and then it literally blew up overnight.
I could go on and on about how this incident has affected my life, but I'm not here for that because I'm not here for me. I may be the first to come before you with an injury, but if this doesn't pass, I won't be the last. It would be really devastating for what happened to me to become the norm, and that's why I almost feel scared of how many times this is gonna have to happen before people see the issue with it.
Yeah, how many young girls and young women are gonna have to suffer?
Did they pull the trans athlete, the other school,
No.
the other team?
No, they didn't.
So this person continued playing against your teammates, even after you were hurt?
Yes.
When I look up to Payton, I see a role model. She's very strong and my best friend. I just really love Payton and she's who I strive to be like. Just the way she handles things and never lets people tear her down. It's really inspiring. Me and Payton did play together in softball a lot when we were younger. I looked up to her in all those sports and it was just really nice always being together. I can't really picture my life not playing sports. I really enjoy all the sports, but volleyball is definitely my favorite. After it happened, I was scared to face a male because I didn't know if there were more or if I were to in the future. And so I was debating whether or not I would continue to play if I knew there was a transgender. I was scared that it would happen to me next. The thought of that happening to my younger sister or if I get blessed enough to have daughters one day, I don't want them to even think that this is a possibility that there could be a man on the other side of the net. And I thought if my story could help at least one girl prevent this from happening to her, then it would be worth it.
Courage begets courage. The more people that stand up, the more mamas that stand up, the more daddies that stand up and stand with their babies, their daughters, it gets easier. She has lost friends, lifelong friends. We've lost family, but we've gained so much more. You know, what you lose, you gain in a multitude if you're doing right and you're standing in the truth. And she stands in truth, and I'll support her. She's not one to, be a victim. She's very proactive. She almost lost her life, like inches. And if it can happen to her, it can happen to anybody.
Progressive gender ideology being pushed so harshly is exactly the root of why this was allowed to happen to me. If it wasn't pushed so harshly, this could have been 100% avoided, and that has taken a big part of my life away. I mean, I couldn't play sports again because of it, and it's affected, my college life and everything else. So it is a lot greater than just a season of volleyball. It's much bigger than that.
A man is a man, a woman is a woman, and women have the right to their own spaces, their private spaces, their sports, their locker rooms, their bathrooms. That's not a stretch. Like, that's just common sense.
When it comes down to it, it's your daughters, so you need to stand up and do what's right for them.
Pull your kid. Don't play. It is not worth what has happened to her to happen to anybody else's child. I would never, ever let her play today if I knew what I knew then. Now, it's not worth it.
I've heard from so many girls close to me and all across the country. They see it happening, and it is happening in their schools, but their coaches are the ones that are punishing them if they have a problem with it. If they say anything, they don't get to play. I know that what I am fighting for is the right thing. We're trying to reach people and let them know that, this is very real, and we didn't realize how big it was until it personally affected us. Call it out when it is wrong and just refuse to comply. Standing up for what's right will always be a better outcome than, winning a game.